Guys, I recently received some information that would undoubtedly hurt cryptocurrency greatly. Guys who invest do not get surprised easily. Going future, I'll clarify what this entails. Stay put. Then, in my discussion on the shorter time scales, I'll also bring up Bitcoin, what to watch out for over extended time periods. Old coins will be the topic of my discussion because they have had an incredible month thus far. Therefore, boys, make sure to stay. Let's begin right away. So, hello again to everyone. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell right away. My name is Chris, and I'll be giving you important videos every day that will educate you how to profit in this market. So let's start with the shorter spans first, you guys. And given that we can depict a trend line similar to this on a 4-hourly time scale, what you can see is actually rather intriguing for Bitcoin at the moment. You can even do it on an hourly schedule. However, as you can see, there is a slight upward trend. Additionally, you can observe that this resistance line is clearly dipping downward. As a result, you can see that there is a small formation or trend developing right now. Therefore, things could truly start to flare up in the next hours. Therefore, we are aware of that, folks. Additionally, if we examine the volume at this time, we can see that it has been incredibly low lately. In fact, the volume is currently at we are currently experiencing a monthly low that may also be comparable to a quarterly low. As a result, volume is quite low at the moment, which means that there are more opportunities to influence the price in the direction you want it to go if volume is low. So guys, get ready for a move since it might happen sooner rather than later. Now, this can be extended, and we can grow and prolong this trend line as well. Do we need a breakdown from this level then? You might pay attention to the extended trend line on the way up if there is a breakdown. And if we do break out from this place, the same thing applies here. Well, this trend line is still rising in this area. We are still keeping an eye on these trend lines, folks, depending on how the price responds to the breakout of this move. Consequently, pay attention to those. Certainly, for something somewhat similar to this, you can stretch this particular trend line all the way down here. There are several various ways to draw this then. However, it appears likely that either today or tomorrow, most likely today, we'll see a move. Now, there's also another crucial point I want to discuss, and that is on the daily time frame. Because where we are right now is actually a crucial point in Bitcoin's long-term macro structure, because you can see that this orange box was the point where we previously got rejected when we saw significant pumps in Bitcoin. And we saw a big move get rejected of this orange box, had a pullback, had a couple of additional pushes into the orange box here, and went back to where we were before. However, consider this. We are now testing this level at the same time. There won't be much resistance above this level if we can make a move to the upside. Simply clear this broad area and then start moving higher. Bold orange line here at $26,400, and then up here at about $30,000 is an orange box. Therefore, if we can overcome that, we will have enough momentum to overcome these habits, move up to the orange box up here, and break through to the $30,000 level. This is what might occur in this situation sooner rather than later. However, there are impending threats in the cryptocurrency industry right now. However, overall state strategy tactics are still effective. There is nothing to worry about when moving into this teal box. There can be pullbacks. Of course, pullbacks are to be anticipated. However, from a macro perspective, Bitcoin is still in good shape. Just a brief little bit of peace on old coins before I talk about this starter right here. Everything is still going as planned. So, as you may be aware, we have been discussing this orange box and how it may serve as a formidable barrier to all coins. The old coins have lately experienced a good rally here, and the Bitcoin domination was originally expected to finish at this orange line. However, we got just a little bit beyond it, which made this support. And then we started to move down here, which is when the old coins really started to go up. I'm going to make this very slight adjustment to the candle body. You can therefore see that we are enjoying a few poignant moments right now. Along with the candle bodies, there are a few other touching spots right here. This is therefore more logical. Therefore, if there is another push towards this orange line and the Bitcoin supremacy, we know that this might once again be a turning point. However, for the time being, the older coins will do better as long as Bitcoin's market share continues to decline. Where will it come to an end? That is still up in the air, but seeing the antique coins make such a big profit here is undoubtedly cool. Undoubtedly, This is what we have been waiting for. Identically on the DXY recently had two fantastic days here. The orange box with the orange box, and the red line here is what we are currently approaching, though. As a result, the dollar index will encounter severe resistance at this moment, despite the large green candles on the dollar index. This would be a sensible turning point for the index to begin to decline. And at that point, naturally, the value of all Bitcoin assets increased and moved into that. Naturally, the ancient coins index that we have been discussing decreased here at the index. We decreased to 20, but since then, there has undoubtedly been a bounce. Therefore, we are currently above this blue line, which corresponds to the 25 on this index. So let's see if we are going to have something similar to this, where we break this, and then simply continue in the direction of a significant altcoin season, or if we are going to have something more similar to, let me see here, perhaps something like this, where we go down, we break above it, and then we start continuing down again. And after that, any prices down here at the bottom range of the altcoins index would have a ton of buying possibilities. Now that we are aware that inflation is currently declining, let's speak about some major threats. As a result, in 9 days, December's inflation rate was 6.5%. New CPI statistics will be available soon, which will reveal the inflation rate for January. But take a look at this because it's crucial. You are aware that inflation is calculated based on the prior year, which means that in December 2020, it will be 6.5%. 22 indicates that our inflation rate was 6.5% higher than that of December 2021, which was already rather high at 6.8%. Moving on nonetheless, it was 7%. Moving forward, the months of January, February, March, and so on will see the highest levels of inflation since 2022. Okay, these will therefore have a big impact. Therefore, based on the facts, it is highly likely that inflation will decline dramatically. I assume that this is what the market is anticipating. However, there is also a second way to assess this. We may compare it to the previous year, the same month, but the preceding year, or we can measure it in terms of the prior month. Are we genuinely on track to limit the inflation? In other words, we do have some preliminary data arriving, and the market now anticipates a 0.5% increase in the DART for January. The Bloomberg terminal provided this. We shall therefore discover that this is simply what the market thinks. But if this turns out to be the case, it could be a forewarning that the inflation data for this specific month of January, when it is released, could not be as favorable as we had anticipated. After all, I had expected the inflation to decline, and I continue to think that we will descend. But this may serve as a forewarning that it might not truly go down as much as we had anticipated. The Fed will therefore surely be on the lookout for this. This implies that inflation would eventually become somewhat embedded in the system. What would then be the federal response? Let's see, people. But take this as a forewarning. Without a doubt, I'll keep you all updated on this information. The market anticipates that if this pattern holds, inflation will start to perhaps increase once more. I'll keep on speaking about that. There's no need to panic in this situation, but I'm going to give you another early warning. On these long-term charts, I continue to believe that inflation will decrease. I continue to think that everything is good. However, we must use caution when such facts are received. A final point. One of the biggest banks in Russia, not the central bank, is actually launching a DeFi platform here. According to what I understand, a decentralized exchange that is very, very fascinating might maybe be the first type of institutional and national-backed DeFi platform. So we'll see how this turns out. It's scheduled to debut in early 2023. This will therefore be quite intriguing. But lastly, don't forget to use this link to benefit from the best deposit bonuses available, which can total up to $30,000. The best deposit bonuses now offered are over on Goodback, where they can reach $50,000. Simply use this link, click it to bring up this page, and then click Join Now to be able to participate and benefit from incentives of up to $50,000. So guys, be sure to utilize the best deposit incentives offered. I got it for that. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next.